Welcome back to the second hour, everybody. Thursday, November 21st, 2013. I'm your host, Dr. Peter Glidden, your steadfast advocate for health. And I mean that. I'm as serious as a heart attack when I say that. Sounds like a catch line. Well, it is, but it's also true. I am your steadfast advocate for health because I'm going to tell you the way that it is. I'm going to give you advice for free. No consultation charge necessary. No copay. No lab tests needed. So I want you to think about this with that last caller, Gareth from London. He's got a little boy, 3 years old, for goodness sake. He's got bad arthritis. The kid's 3 years old. He's got arthritis. And what do the MDs say? Nothing. Anti-inflammatories and pain meds. The kid's 3 years old. Now, if that kid had been in the U.S., socialized medicine in England, so they don't do exorbitant testing, but if that kid had been in the U.S., they would have. By the time he's, they're done with him, depending, of course, on how much money the parents had, depending, of course, on how good his medical insurance was, they would have run up the bill. $6,000, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 later, the kid's still in the weeds, and the parents now, they've got $20,000 of medical bills to pay, and they've got nothing to show for it. Except, we did the best that we could, and they wash their hands, and then they go jump in their Mercedes and go to their houses with pools. Nothing wrong with a house with a pool, unless you build it on the back of human suffering and you don't give a crap. This is a problem when you get people invested in medicine who don't care about health or healing. They don't. This is the biggest hurdle for people to accept. This is the biggest thing for people to really grok in their mind's eye, to really establish in your understanding that your medical doctor does not care about your health. They do not. Your medical doctor only cares about delivering to you the standard of care, which isn't care. It's the standard of management. So the only thing your doctor is concerned with is getting you on as many drugs as they can, which are the standard of treatment for whatever disease you have, and the drugs are not intended to fix anything, and the research is not intended to cure anything. It's all intended to manage things. Good for the drug companies, not so good for you. But you don't know any better, and your kid's sick. What the heck are you going to do? You're going to trust the doctor, and that's the biggest mistake that we make. We trust them. We trust them. Your medical doctor doesn't know what's best for you or your kids. They don't. They only know what they've been trained in. Right? What they've been trained in is one tiny piece of the pie. But they've pitched it to you like it's the Holy Grail, like it's everything and the only thing, and everything else stinks. They're absolutely positively got their heads so far up their rear ends. You should get your medical doctor one of those headlamps, for Christmas that the miners wear. Get him one of those. Maybe he'll be able to see a little bit better in the dark. So what do we do? Now, if Gareth hadn't known about us, what would be happening? What would be happening? Well, his child would get older and older. He'd get worse and worse. He'd fall behind in school. He'd be the laughing stock. All the kids would start to make fun of him because, kids are cruel, and that's what kids do, let's be honest. He'd get worse and worse. He wouldn't be able to play sports in school. He wouldn't be able to, he wouldn't be able to get the prom queen, right? All of this stuff, all of these doors would be closed to him, and his life would be filled with pain and suffering and medication, and pain and suffering and medication. He would eke out an existence because the human body can take a lot of crap. It can. I mean, the average age of death of a wino, homeless, helplessly alcoholic, a drug-addicted person on the street, 54 years of age. In the U.S., I don't know what it is in the U.K. You can completely abuse your body, live outside like an animal, drink a Ripple, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and shoot up heroin whenever you can get your hands on it, and your body will tough it out until your mid-50s. It's pretty good. This is the potential that the human body has. Your body wants to survive. It'll hang on. Gareth's son, little Morgan, would have hung on but it would not have been a pretty life, would not have been an easy life. And so what do? No lab work necessary, no copay necessary, no x-ray, no CT scan, no nothing. What do? Well, we understand that the human body knows how to fix itself. The human body wants to fix itself. So what do? We give advice. Hey, listen, it's probably a good idea to drink purified water, right? Probably a good idea to drink purified water. Probably a good idea not to pee upstream and drink downstream. Probably a good idea to live in a house that has a waste elimination system that's been approved by the state. Probably a good idea to live in a house that's heated in the winter and cooled in the summer. Probably a good idea to wash the body every day and put clothes on it when you go outside. These things we all take for granted. Well, there's one more thing we should all take for granted, and if we did, there would be very few sick people walking around. We all need to nutrify the body. We need to give the body the stuff it needs to fix itself. It needs to be part of our daily routine, but it's not. Because the MDs have told you that, don't take those vitamins. They give you expensive urine, and they're useless. And then they'll tell you to stop taking your vitamins before surgery because it can interfere. And, well, you can't have it both ways, boys. Which is it? We don't know what we don't know. It's killing us. We listen to the people that make the food tell us what food to eat. No, that's not a good idea. We listen to General Mills and Monsanto and every wheat producer in the world. Oh, yeah, the staff of life. I don't think so. Not so much. You want to live to be, your life expectancy is 25 years of age like it was back in Pharaoh's day. Eat as much wheat as you want. Have a party. Take a bath in wheat. But if you want to live to your genetic potential, by the way, which is 120, you know anybody, by the way, that's made it to 120? Anybody at all? Know anybody at all that's done that? No. Not even close. We're not even close because we've taken the wrong dog to the hunt. We go to the MD for advice about health when the MD is not trained in health. I mean, this is nuts. So, thank God for Dr. Wallach. Thank God for Ted Anderson, by the way, who is the owner of this radio station that gave yours truly a shot. Ted Anderson threw me in the deep end about a year ago. Said, Dr. Glidden, swim. So here we are on the radio. A year later. I'm going to have to check my anniversary date, really. I don't even know what it is. I think it's been about a year coming up, maybe more. I don't know. But first we started at an hour, then we grew in popularity. Now we're 2 hours. Now the app for the cell phone to listen to this radio station from your cell phone is, I think, the second most sold app at the radio station. This radio show is growing in popularity. Sometime in 2014, we're going to go over to 3 hours, right? We're getting big, and we're getting better and better and more popular, due in large part to your efforts and also to the simple notion that we tell the truth. That's all we do. I'm not selling a damn thing. I'm not. I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm giving you advice about what you can do. That's what I'm selling. If I'm selling anything, I'm selling advice, and I'm selling it for free. Telling you what you can do, things that you should do, and encouraging you to give it a try for yourself and let your own body be the judge. And that's how we do it, and that's how we're going to change a little piece of our world. This is how we did it for little Morgan over there in England. It just warms my heart to think of that. That's how we did it for everybody that calls into this show, practically. Have you ever had, I mean, I'm still waiting for one person to call me in and say, hey, Doc, that stuff didn't work at all. I mean, it's not working at all. Doesn't work. That phone call hasn't come yet. It's not going to come. Because when you give the body the stuff it needs, when you give the body the raw materials that it needs to optimize its structure and function, when you stop eating food that's hurting the body, it fixes itself. It gets better. When you start living inside houses, when you start washing and clothing your body, when you drink purified water and develop waste elimination systems, you live longer. Right? We've been doing that stuff automatically for a couple hundred years. We don't even think about it anymore. It's just part of what we do. There's one more thing that needs to become an automatic part of what we do culturally. Nutrify your body every day with the 90 essential nutrients in bioavailable recipes appropriate for your body weight. The recommendation for optimal health: 1 healthy start pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Don't take more than 4 bottles of selenium no matter how much you weigh for 6 months. Do that for 6 months and then call me. I'll tell you whether you need to up it or down it. So that's 1 healthy start pack and 2 bottles of ultimate selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And if you really want to take it to the moon, add to that program 1 bottle of plant minerals, 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals or cherry mints. It's the same stuff with cherry flavor added, a little more palatable. And just take those nutritional supplements every day the same way that you take a shower every day, the same way that you brush your teeth every day, the same way that you urinate in toilets and waste elimination facilities appropriately. You don't just go out and pee on the street, do you? Well, maybe they do in Scotland. But look, this is it. We need a different way, and this is it. This is it. We are the tip of the spear. This is it, folks. It's the tip of the spear of new-fashioned medical nutrition. You want to join the revolution? It's not really even a revolution. It's just common sense rolling back into full view. The fog is lifting, and what do you see? You see the undiscovered territory of common sense, new-fashioned, science-based, clinically verified, delivered and developed by physician medical nutrition. And that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. 866-582-9933. You know that. 866-582-9933. Going to go to Alabama and talk to Rita when we come back. Stick around. Relax the mind. Feed the body. Live long and prosper. What's happening in Alabama with Rita? Hey, Rita, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Wallach. I'm on the speakerphone. If it's bothering anybody, let me know, and I'll go back on regular.
All right, go back on regular, because I can hardly hear you, Rita. I'm sorry.
How's this? Pretty good?
It's a little bit better. You're going to have to speak up, though.
Very good. I'm calling about transverse myelitis. I've met a young man and his son, Adam, and Adam, his son has this. It hit overnight. The next day, he was paralyzed. He's been in a wheelchair for 3 years. What say you, Dr. Glidden?
The most common cause of transverse myelitis is the flu shot. It's a flu shot. Did he have a flu shot right before he got it?
I will ask that question.
Well, there's a whole slew of class action lawsuits because there's a lot of people getting transverse myelitis after they've had a flu shot. It doesn't make sense, right, that something this big, bad voodoo daddy is just shows up overnight for no reason, right? I mean, it's like, what's up with that?
Exactly.
Yeah, there had to be an instigating factor. So when you look to see, like, mysterious, crazy crap like this that shows up all of a sudden, the first thing you think about is, well, there was a thief in the night. There was something that broke into the body and did damage, and 99 times out of 100, it's something that the MDs threw into your body, and the most common cause of this, of course, would be vaccination. So, you know, it's myelitis. It's an inflammation of the muscles. It affects the muscles and, to a certain extent, the nerves. So remember, we have no idea where the point of no return is. I don't know, how bad it has to get before the body can't fix it. There is a point of no return. There is. But I don't know where it is. He doesn't know where it is. Their doctor definitely doesn't know where it is. So if I had transverse myelitis, or I knew somebody that had transverse myelitis, my recommendation for 90 days, 3 months in a row, would be eliminate the 10 bad foods. Number one, don't even look at that crap. Don't even look at it. Eliminate it 100%. No cheating, no whining. Number two, eat lots of eggs and butter and salt if you're not allergic to eggs. You need a cholesterol donor. You need to eat food that's high in cholesterol and protein. I want 50% of everything that he eats to be protein, and I want, 40% of it to be cholesterol. So eggs would be almost perfect food for this person, unless, of course, he's allergic to eggs. Number 3, the recommendation to support and promote the structure and function of his body would be the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack and selenium, appropriate for body weight. HGH Youth Complex, given at 1 bottle per 100 pounds of body weight per month. The HGH Youth Complex, 1 bottle per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And I would do 4 Fucoid Z a month, 4 bottles of Fucoid Z a month. So that's what I would do for 90 days to see if I couldn't get any bounce back from, the trouble.
Okay.
And this person's going to know it. Right. I mean, and this is the other thing that, right, Rita, we need to pay attention to, because often we get so wrapped up in the name that the MD has given it, and we get infuriated because it happened. But, transverse myelitis or arthritis or high blood pressure or fibromyalgia or whatever it is isn't just happening in the muscles, right? This is a person thing. This is a mind-body thing. This is happening everywhere all the time. And so when somebody gets involved with a holistic approach, which this most certainly is, this is the king of all holistic approaches, we want to look to see improvement wherever we get it. So maybe his sleep gets better, maybe his energy gets better, maybe his mood gets better, maybe his aches and pains get better, maybe his muscle strength gets better. I don't know. But inside of 90 days, we expect and anticipate something noticeably, measurably big happening. And once we secure that, we ride that horse as far as it takes us. So, have them check out the flu thing. And get back to me with what happens, and hopefully they can listen to this broadcast and, trust me enough to at least give it a try for 90 days, because what do we got to lose? Not a whole lot, really. I'm going to bet that just from eliminating the 10 bad foods, this kid's going to feel a noticeable improvement in the pain factor just from eliminating the 10 bad foods. Rita, you are the last best hope your family, friends, and community have to live a long, healthy, and wealthy life. Keep up the good work. I appreciate everything that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how we do it. Well, it's teamwork, baby. Teamwork. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here, your steadfast advocate for health. Please check out the website, fireyourmdnow.com. If you're an insider, tonight's the night. We're talking about amino acids, the building blocks of life, amino acids. Check it out. Don't want to miss it. Put it on your calendar. Put it on your watch. Put it on your forehead. Put it somewhere so you don't forget. Tonight, 8 o'clock Central Time for insiders only. Amino acids, the building blocks of life. We had a live chat this morning. For goodness sake, we had people on the live chat this morning from Nigeria, people from the United Kingdom, people from Chile, people from Canada, people from all over the U.S. I mean, it was awesome. It's a worldwide phenomenon. This is a worldwide phenomenon. Love the Internet in that regard because it gives us a global reach, and that beats a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. Let's go down to Virginia, why not, and see what Terry's up to. Hey, Terry, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hello, Dr. Glidden. How are you today?
Very, very well, thank you. Thank you for asking. How's it going?
Pretty good. Now, can you hear me real good?
Perfect. It's like you're sitting in the studio.
Oh, okay. I wanted to talk to you about a friend of mine. She's had an abdominal injury in the past. Her ex-husband pinned her to the floor with his knee in her transfer abdomen near the valve.
Great.
She said she was afraid he was going to burst her colon.
Jeez.
Now the doctors are telling her that they can't even see her colon and that her organs have dropped. They're saying it's because she's had 4 kids and everything's going south. She's having frequently bouts with uncontrollable bowels and gas, and her stomach goes crazy when she eats certain foods. And she says she never really feels good. She's wondering if it's really got more to do with what happened in the past with her husband.
Well, what happened to her husband, do you know?
Well, she divorced him.
Yeah, but he didn't go to jail or anything, right?
No, he was just real physically abusive to her.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what's up with that, really. I've got no time for stuff like that. That's just crazy, that type of behavior, and people get away with it all the time. But you know, that's a
really frail lady, you know.
Yeah,
you know?
It's interesting. Yeah. So how many years ago was it? Do you know?
I don't know. I haven't asked her, but if my memory serves me correct, it seems like she said it was like 15 years ago.
All right. Well, all right. So the first thing that we're going to do is have her pay attention to the foods that she's eating when she feels crappy after she eats, because it's not every food that's doing that to her. It's only certain foods. And people that tend to be frail, people that tend to be thin, people that tend to have a small body mass, those people are much more sensitive to the negative effects of foods that they're allergic to. So it's entirely possible that when she feels crappy after she eats, it's because she's just eaten food or foods that she's allergic to. So I would just have her keep a running list of, you know, every time she feels like crap after she eats, she should write down everything that she had to eat. And if she just keeps a running list, by the 3rd or the 4th time, she should be able to figure out the foods that are common to all of those lists, and then I would just have her stop eating those foods. Number 2, she needs to stop all 10 of the bad foods. She needs to do that as well. She needs to stop eating all 10 bad foods, as do you, as do I, as does everybody. So goes Rome, so goes the empire. And everybody needs to eliminate the 10 bad foods. Number 3, because, of course, this is a digestive issue, right? The intervention initially to support and promote the structure and function of her body's ability to fix itself would, of course, be the healthy digestion pack, 1 healthy digestion pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. Plus, I love selenium. Everybody gets selenium. It's 1 bottle of selenium per 50 pounds of body weight per month, and that's a very, very smart place to start. Now, could be fortuitous that you called today. Were you listening to the first hour? Did you hear my interview with Thomas Lamb, the guy that did the post-traumatic video or DVD? Did you hear that?
No, I just picked you up about 20 minutes ago.
All right. Well, listen to the archives. Listen to the first hour, because I interviewed a gentleman who'd put together a relaxation CD that's been clinically verified to decrease healing time, dramatically decrease pain, help people to sleep better through the night, and to get on the other side of anxiety and panic. And I got to tell you something. If there was physical abuse happening consistently for many years, then I would gainsay that there's part of this woman's psyche, part of her body-mind, that, you know, is always kind of afraid all the time, because that's just what she got used to. And it's entirely possible that that psychological little burr, that stress of all that nonsense that her husband levied upon her, is still sticking around inside of her body-mind, still sticking around. It's possible. I don't know. I've never met her.
A couple of kids are, you know, causing a lot of stress, too. But this woman cannot sit still. She cannot sit still for 1 minute.
Yeah, all right. So get her. So I want you to visit this website, because we talked about this earlier. It is, let me get it straight here. It is relaxdeeply.org. Relaxdeeply.org. Pick up a copy of the CD. It's called An Authentic Treatment for PTSD. It's a CD. You just pop into the CD player and listen to it for 20 minutes, and she might find relief there. She might find relief. She may find relief. But in any event, clean up the diet. Have her pay attention to the stuff that she eats when she feels bad, and give her the healthy digestion pack and selenium for 90 days. and see if that doesn't brighten her life up just a little bit. Does that sound like a plan, Terry?
Yes, it does. I got one more thing to say to you before you let me go.
All right. Yeah, I'm sitting down, so give me both barrels.
I'm very sorry about what happened to your mother. We're in a fight together.
Well, that was years ago. It was over, and I appreciate the kind thoughts, but this was a very frustrating thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, my mom had ovarian cancer, and my brother-in-law is a medical doctor, of all things, and convinced my mother to get on board with conventional medical treatments, and of course they went to the best ovarian cancer doctors in New England at the time, and everything changed. I mean, the drugs that they gave her and the therapeutic treatments that they gave her completely changed my mother's personality. It was a tragedy. I think it was, quite frankly, it was worse than the cancer, what happened to her. And I'm convinced that she didn't die from ovarian cancer, that she died as a result of their archaic, old-fashioned, outdated, monstrous treatments. But that's the way that the world turns right now. And what are you going to do? Well, one of the things that we're going to do, and that we're doing, Terry, together, is telling as many people as we can about what we're up to, so that even if we can just change it up for one person like little Morgan in the United Kingdom, I mean, I'm happy and I'm good and I can sleep soundly at night and life is good. But I appreciate the kind words, and, you know, that's what gets me out of bed in the morning, right?
Right. My mom's personality changed, too.
Yeah, she did. So you saw the same thing, is that right?
Oh, yeah. She was an extreme optimist, on top of the world. Nothing ever bothered my mother. You know, she just rolled everything off of her back like a duck, you know. And then as she got worse, you know, and started getting ill, I lived with her for the past 11 years. And I could, like, see just a big difference in her, you know, the past 10, 11 years of her life. It was like her personality was gone. She would sit and work puzzle books from the time she got up till she went to bed, and she hardly said anything to anybody. She was, like, extremely anxious. And I asked her, I said, why are you working these puzzle books all the time? She wouldn't even carry on a conversation with me anymore. And she said, it keeps me calm. You know?
Well, it's a wasted life, you know, brought to you by Bus Driver MD, brought to you by $600 billion of cancer research money. What have we got to show for it? We've got nothing to show for it whatsoever, except pain and suffering, pain and suffering, pain and suffering, financial suffering, big medical bills, and then death. And then the MDs go to their big cancer conventions, and they all get together and pat themselves on the back about what important work they're doing, and it is one gigantic piece of bird crap. Quite frankly, you know, I don't know what it's going to take for people to snap out of it collectively, but what do we have to do? We do what we do. We do it one day at a time. We talk to as many people as we can, and who knows, maybe someday before we die, there will be a big kind of awakening across the world, and I'm down for that, Terry. Thanks so much for everything that you do. Thanks for the phone call. I have to move on here. Let's go to Waterloo and talk to Napoleon. No, only kidding, folks, not Napoleon. It's Andy from Waterloo. Hey, Andy, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, Dr. Glidden, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I didn't even know there was a Waterloo in the U.S. How about that?
Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
Just moved here in July from Decorah, Iowa.
Oh, really? So Waterloo is in Iowa. What part of the state?
It's central.
Yeah? Yeah, really great. Well, welcome aboard. Thanks for calling, brother. How can I help?
Well, my wife had been getting headaches frequently for the past 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, and they're increasing in intensity, and she's been throwing Tylenol at it and everything else, and that only lasts a very short period of time. The commander told us to have her put some CM cream on her neck and her forehead, and we've tried that. So far, nothing has helped. So,
how long has she been getting these headaches?
For the past 3 or 4 weeks.
And was there anything that precipitated the advent of the headache, like you just gotten back from vacation, or, I mean, anything at all that seemed outside of the norm?
Well, the only thing she can remember is that right about that time we had some mold in the bathroom, and that's when she seems to recall that the headaches started.
Oh, is that right? So was that? But you live in the same house. Did anything funny happen to you?
No.
All right.
Not like headaches or anything like that. I've got some other issues that I wanted to throw at you after we tackled this.
Well, increasing pain in the head is nothing that we need to we need to dial this in and figure it out. And if she doesn't resolve, I would say, if this doesn't get better within the next week, then diagnostic stuff is going to be indicated here, because it could be a number of things, most of which are bad. Whenever we see pain which increases in intensity over a couple of weeks, then we want to pay attention to that, which is different than pain which comes and goes, and pain which comes and goes like a roller coaster, right? So the first thing that we want to do is give her a lot of essential fatty acids. So I would give her, for 7 days in a row, 12 EFAs a day, 12 EFAs a day, and 12 selenium a day. Let's talk more about it on the other side of the break. Stick around, Andy. We're coming back, folks. This is Fire Your MD Now. We're coming over the hill. Just like the cavalry to the rescue. Talking to Andy in Waterloo, Iowa. Hey, Andy, you still with me?
Yes, I am.
All right. So, you guys know a chiropractor?
Back in Decorah, yeah.
Yeah, so you might want to check around, ask people who are in Waterloo, who's a good chiropractor, because they're hard to find. When you find one, it's really great. I would go to a chiropractor, have them look at the neck and see if there's anything problematic here. Now, if there is something problematic in that regard, a simple adjustment or maybe two would fix it. It's not going to be the type of a thing that you need to see the chiropractor once a week for 50 weeks for if it just came upon you all of a sudden like this. It should be a simple tweak, a simple fix if there's a mechanical problem. So give her 12 selenium and how much does she weigh, by the way?
150.
All right, yeah, give her 12 selenium and 12 EFA a day for 7 weeks. Actually, give her 9 selenium. 9 selenium and 12 essential fatty acids. 9 selenium, 3, 3, and 3, and 12 essential fatty acids, 4, 4, and 4 a day, in addition to the Healthy Start Pack. And if this pain doesn't significantly go away in 7 days, if it continues to increase, then we're going to have to do some diagnostic stuff, and that's going to get dicey because I don't want her to have a CT scan. So you're going to have to find an MD who's willing to diagnose this without a CT scan, but that's only if it continues to get worse and does not yield whatsoever to either the chiropractic adjustment or the up the ante with the selenium and the EFAs. All right? All right. Question number 2.
On my toe, my big toe on my right foot, it's a white streak that started off like in the middle of my toenail going crosswise. Yeah. And it kept getting bigger and bigger. This is probably 8-9 months or so I've had it, until it reached all the way to the end of my toenail. And I have no idea what it is.
Mostly, that's a zinc deficiency. It's a deficiency in the mineral zinc, and once that crack starts to crack, it will populate all the way across the nail. Eventually, the nail's going to grow, and the crack's going to grow out with it, and then when that little crack gets to the top of your toe, you can just cut it off. But I would think that you need more zinc, and then I just made a little rhyme. I think you need more zinc. So what I would do is for a couple of months, in addition to I'm assuming you're already taking longevity stuff?
Yeah, for about a year now.
Yeah, all right. So have you eliminated the 10 bad foods? Have you stopped eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats?
Yeah, for the most part.
Okay, so then that's the answer is no, right? So you can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. So you really need to take a look, man, at dialing in 100% gluten-free, 100% gluten-free. Don't cheat at all and give your body a break. And for a couple months, I would do 2 ounces of the plant minerals a day, 2 ounces of the plant minerals. So in addition to what you're already getting, get a bottle of the plant minerals or a bottle of the cherry mints. You're going to need 2 of those a month. And add that to what you're doing now, because that stuff has the extra zinc in it that you need in a kind of an easy to absorb way. I'm a big fan of the plant minerals, and when we're up against a weird little peculiar thing like this, the first thing to do is take more minerals. And it's entirely possible that, why it's happened is because you're not absorbing things efficiently because you're not 100% gluten-free yet, right? So check it out. It's words to the wise, and I'm most concerned about your wife, though. So find a chiropractor, get up with the selenium and the EFAs, and get back to me in a week.
I haven't been able to get her off the 10 bad foods at all.
Oh, well, so what you can do then, and real quick, because we're at the end of the show, and thanks, everybody. I'm back in the saddle live tomorrow, God willing. Tell her, make a bet with her or make a deal that you're going to do something special for her if, for 10 days in a row, she stops eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats. 10 days in a row, not any of it, 0, and then give her a little reward at the end. And then on day 11, all I want her to do is eat wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And when she eliminates that crap for 10 days, and then she throws it back in, on day 11, she's going to feel like horrible, and then she'll stop eating it because the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Thanks, Andy. I appreciate the call. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're an insider tonight, amino acid webinar, 8 o'clock Central Time. If you're not an insider, what are you waiting for? FireYourMDNow.com. Check it out. See you then. See you tomorrow. Live long and prosper.